Are you trying to get your shift together?
Welcome to the Shift Sisters podcast, where real conversations inspire real transformations. We're not experts, but we're experiencers. I'm Sandra.
And I'm Jennifer Richter.
We're your Shift Sisters.
Whether you're shifting like a sloth or it looks like you're having an exorcism, this is your space to breathe, reflect, and remember. We're here to talk shift with you.
All right, welcome back, Shifties. Today we are continuing our series, The Health Shift. And today's episode is going to be an interesting one because we are talking about biohacking happiness. And I know that sounds odd. I know that doesn't sound like it might belong, but we really want to focus in on the importance of having that mental state, that healthy well-being so that you can focus in on your health. This is going to be a really fun episode. I have my cosmic wildfire here, Jennifer Richter, as we always are together co-hosting this wonderful podcast. And we have a special guest today. We have Cathy Grippi, who is someone that I met, and I'd love to tell you the story and how I met her a little bit later, but she is a laughter ambassador. Yes, they exist, laughter ambassadors.
I know I missed my calling.
I know, for sure. I'm like, what a cool job to have.
Uh-huh.
And then when I met her and I participated in her laughter yoga, it was just game over for me because it changed my life. But she'll be on later on to discuss what she does and how she just induces that happy hormone in her body and brain and with others as well. So we're really excited to have her on. But before we do, we always like to start with our rituals. And of course, we start off with our shift forecast, just checking in, seeing how we're doing. So Jen, what's your check-in for today?
Well, I am trying to find out if I can biohack happiness because let me tell you, I am a little emotionally stormy today, triggered, reactive, overwhelmed by the swirl. I have an ungodly amount of things on my plate, supporting our family's emotional things. And just there's a whole bunch of things that I manage that is very different than my husband. And yeah, I'm just super overwhelmed. And I feel like sometimes I'm not really good at not carrying my children's emotions as well when things shift for them, right? I care deeply and I want to help them navigate through this, but I feel their emotions heavily.
Yeah.
And so it weighs on me just because I care so much. And so I'm feeling like just bitchy and ready to punch somebody in the face. And so I'm like, you know what? I could go in my closet and I could put on clothes that represent that and things that make me feel comforted and swallowed up in the emotion. But I was like, I can't do it. I don't have time for all that stuff today. Like, yes, I will deal with the emotions, but I was like, I have to try to evoke happiness and joy because that's also where creativity comes, which helps find a lot of awesome solutions when you have a problem or a struggle. And I don't want to rot away in bed, right?
Yeah.
I want to find some creative, fun solutions. So I'm emotionally stormy, but I am trying to brighten it up with my colors and my oils and all of these things.
Well, it's so this episode couldn't come at a better time for you.
Exactly.
So yeah, so we're going to get into that and what oils would you recommend to help support that? Because there's just I know that you have so many resources on that. So
Always. Well, this one is actually a blend. And it is specific to doTERRA, but you know, I can read you the ingredients, and if someone wants to make their own blend, that's totally fine. But this one's called Cheer, and it comes. I like the roller ball because it's already made for you, and then you can just take it with you and put it on. But this blend is like citrusy and spices, and it's formulated to assist with like that cheerfulness. It's especially helpful for individuals who feel heavy hearted or who have been weighed down by many challenges in life. Cheer helps restore one's hope when they have been stretched beyond their limits of their endurance. Cheer reminds individuals there is so much more to life than the hardship they are experiencing, and to determinedly, I don't know how to I don't know if I'm saying that right. Just be damn determined, okay? Hold on until they regain the hope and joy they feel they have lost. So it helps address negative emotions of being weighed down, hopeless, joyless, heavy hearted, depleted, or helpless. It evokes positive properties of hopeful, comforted, believing, cheerful, uplifted, joyful, determined, and restored. So I
Mm.
need all of that today.
Slather yourself with that,
Uh,
inhale it, all of it,
yes.
do all the things. Awesome.
God,
Well,
it does smell good.
another way that we can support our happiness is by making a fun little sip. And
Ooh.
today I am the drink goblin and I have about three. I don't know why I feel like I need to be super hydrated today. So I'll start off with the things that I didn't make and then share with in one of the other episodes, the agua de kefir came up.
Yes.
Love this stuff. And I'm drinking the orange peach mango. So you talked about citrus in your rollerball, and I'm bringing the
Mhm.
citrus here because I need a little brightness. Hence, I'm wearing
Mhm.
the yellow sundress today.
Yes, girl.
And then I just need hydration all the time, all day, every day. So this
I'm
is
with you.
warm, yes, warm water with lemon and Celtic sea salt. So that
Ooh,
is my
warm water, huh?
girl. So I was speaking with this woman. She does like Asian medicine, and she's like, never drink cold anything in the morning. Make sure it's
For
warm.
digestion.
Yes, and you don't want to like. Essentially, it's like blanket the stomach that's churning and warm. So you want to have warm beverages in the morning. So warm water from the kettle, lemon and salt. And my
Mm.
sip that I created today is a pumpkin ginger latte in my fancy flower cup here.
Oh, look at you
I
go.
I needed something comforting and something warm, and I love pumpkin anything, so pumpkin is great, and it just all kind of melded together. So we actually made the pumpkin puree, so some
Yes.
maple syrup and cinnamon and allspice and clove and all of that, and my go-to Trader Joe's ginger juice,
Yes.
which,
It's the best.
it really is. A little bit of milk and I'm all set. I'm all set.
So so are we Johos?
That's what it was called. I saw that the other day and I was like,
They really do call people that?
I saw it somewhere on like I was on Facebook and they were like, "Oh, I'm such a Joho." And I'm like, "What the hell is that shit?" And it was Trader
I was just joking, but I didn't know it really is a thing.
people call
Huh.
each other that. So I was like, I guess that's what I am.
Okay.
Out of all
Well,
things to call me, but Joho, never thought that that would come up.
I mean, for goodness sakes, if you're a Trader Joe's enthusiast, which I wasn't at first, and I was super resistant, and it has worn on me over time. And I'm like, damn it, I'm one of
Yes,
them now.
I know. It's hard to resist the pulls.
Mm,
All right, wonderful. So let's get into our chat today because there's so much
please.
that we want to cover. So today I want you to ask yourself, can I really turn on my happiness? Let's get into it. Now, one of the most important things to think about when we think about happiness is that it starts from our big, beautiful brain. That's
Mm,
where happiness comes from. It's not something, on your body or anything like that. It really does start there. And before we get into some of the hacks that we can do in order to help support happiness, let's talk about the hormones that are relational to happiness and
okay.
what those hormones are and how they can manifest in these kind of happiness feels. So the first one, and I'm sure everyone has heard of these hormones, but we'll just do a quick little dive into it, is serotonin. So serotonin is our mood stabilizer. So it influences mood, sleep, appetite, all of those things. And serotonin is produced in the gut mostly. That is where that's where it's housed, and we want to make sure that we're supporting that as well. So certain things to boost serotonin could include getting sunlight, exercising, eating a tryptophan rich foods like turkey and seeds, or even just practicing meditation. So, Jen, what are some things that you do, thinking about some of the things that I mentioned, that help boost your serotonin? How do you boost your? helping.
Instantly, you're like, "Turkey or seeds?" And I'm
Yes.
like, "Wow, could you get any hippier?" I
Well,
just see
listen, you
you
could.
walking around, like, chasing a turkey in the yard and eating seeds. No, people, it's not that simple. I do gardening, that's a big thing for me. I'm trying to build my food forest,
Yeah.
and I love to do it barefoot.
Yes.
I love that grounding aspect. Spending time outdoors in sunlight and fresh air, yes, but like I don't want to be in the dead sun heat. So I'm very particular at the times of day, right, that I might go to the beach so that I can enjoy the last few hours of the warmth of the day and the calm and the sunset. But I don't want to go baking in the sun because that's not great for your body. I love farm work,
Yeah.
cleaning out the barn. It's doing barn chores is like this weird spiritual thing. It's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I
Right.
do that and I don't know. I eat
You eat
seeds and
turkey.
turkey. I eat a
And
lot of turkey because I don't eat chicken because we're
that's
allergic, but
right.
I eat turkey.
And you also are on your, like, gut supporting,
Yes.
journey, and that's
Mm-hmm.
where the serotonin lies.
Oh,
So, yeah.
really?
Yeah, that's
Oh, I didn't
where.
know that.
Yes, so the better you kind of support your guts, the happier you are, really, with this boost of serotonin. So there you
Oh,
go.
wow. I mean, I guess I was just doing it by accident because I was trying to get my gut health rebalanced because that's where your immune system is and your
Yes.
intuition and focus and brain health and stuff like that. But I guess I never realized that about serotonin.
Yes, there you go.
Huh.
So what's interesting is, I lived 40 years in New York City, not realizing how depleted. I remember I went to the doctor and there she says, "Sandra, everything is fine, but your vitamin D levels are at a 8 and you need to be at like 80 or something." And I said,
Girl,
"Gee,
you didn't go
girl,
outside, did you?
I no, you were going to work, you were going, home, you were doing all the things, but
Wow.
you weren't like hanging out. It's not like we were in Central Park all the time, right?" So,
Mm-mm.
uh, moving to Florida and now Texas, I've really embraced the outdoors more.
Mm.
And I've really embraced this journey of just boosting my vitamin D levels. So I'm enjoying the sun more. I used to run from the sun. That was like,
Really?
girl, my sister and I were so different. My sister would bathe in the sun. She would put oil on her body. And I'm like, oh my God, get away. And now I'm like adopting some of that from her where I'm like, yes,
Mm.
I really do love you feel re-energized and recharged,
Yeah.
just all of that. So, um, my vitamin D level now is 85, thank you very much.
Wow. I have
Yes,
no clue what mine is. And now I'm going to have to check. It's like
you
a
gotta check.
competition.
Yes.
Who's got the better vitamin D?
That's make it happen, girl. I'm sure you're perfect since you're
I
always
don't
outside,
know.
so
Yeah, I'm sure I'm fine.
but yeah, so, figuring out how you can boost serotonin and what activities. So,
Mm,
meditation for me, it's journaling or art as well because it just happiness doesn't have to be this energetic thing, that calm that comes over you
mhm,
when you're in those moments, I think are really
mhm.
important and just help center yourself. So that's a little bit about serotonin.
I'm gonna have to research a little bit more too about how about meditation and how it boosts your serotonin. I've never thought about that either.
Yeah, I guess the clearing of the chatter and really just kind of visualization, because I'm going to talk about that a little bit later.
Okay.
The importance of just visualizing. So,
Mm,
girl, so many
I love
things.
it. I love it.
Dopamine. So we've heard about
Mhm,
dopamine. So this is the reward hormone. So you talked about doing chores in the barn. When you
mhm,
complete a task, it's like that hit of I finished and I'm done and I feel accomplished.
mhm,
It makes us feel pleasure, it motivates us. So some things that we can do to help boost your dopamine is achieving a goal, listening to your favorite music.
mhm.
So music, it's a whole big thing, right? Like
Big time.
playlists and all of that. So music is really important or trying something new because there's always the fun aspects of trying something new on the other end of it. You're super excited and it's something that's you've never done before.
Mhm.
Girl, have you heard of dopamine dressing?
Is it something you cook?
No.
I'm
No,
like,
it's
I
not a
don't
salad
know.
dressing, girl.
I'm like, there's dressing at Thanksgiving, there's salad dressing. I don't know what dopamine dressing is. I know they say no, nope to dope. I don't know shit about this.
You are so funny. Dopamine dressing is what you and I are doing today. We chose
Oh.
an outfit to help
Oh.
boost our mood. And this yellow dress comes out when either I feel like the sun or I need to absorb the sun. And this today I'm feeling like I need some external supports. So for me, instead of wearing a black outfit or wearing something that's itchy and scratchy, I wore this cotton yellow and white dress and I feel lighter. And girl, I don't want to even get into it, but we've talked about frequency fabrics
Yes.
and how, if this dress was polyester, I would be sitting here in a terrible mood. But since it's a cotton dress and it's a yellow dress, I just feel like, whoo, I can fly. So
Hmm.
dopamine dressing is, and for me, it just speaks my language because I just
Yeah.
love, like that over the top sometimes, with color and some of the combinations and patterns. So whatever makes you happy, put that on. And I came to the call just with that today. So,
It really reminds me of, so I'm not super into like the crystals and the stones and things like that.
mhm.
Adam is. And he will say, he's got his little cheat sheet of a chart and he'll say, this stone is evoking this emotion. And if you wear it on this hand, you're giving it away, or this hand, you're absorbing it, this, that, and the other. And it made me think, oh, I can do that with clothes and color, which I connect with way more than like crystals and stones on my wrist.
Yeah.
So I never thought about when I'm wearing something if I need it or if I want to share it either.
Yeah.
So it's just a different way of picking colors and stuff. I love this.
Right, and even like I said, you came to the call today, you came to the podcast
Yeah.
with your colors, right? And it just makes you feel a certain way, and I tell you, I could stand in front of my closet and it's like, what are the colors that I'm feeling, right? And
Yeah.
it's just, ask yourself that sometimes because unconsciously it just plays such a huge role in your
Mhm.
feel and your mood. So, dopamine
Huh.
dressing, try it out. And then creating a space that sparks joy. I so your workspace, your bedroom, the place where you retreat to, your bathroom. So thinking about the sights, the sounds, the scents that make
Mhm.
you just feel good.
Huh.
And I'm super sensitive to scents,
Oh yeah.
processed synthetic scents. So
Yes.
I get migraines, I just all of that. But there's the wild orange, I think it is,
Mhm.
oil that
Yep.
just, "Woo, I'm ready to go. Let's, enjoy life." It just makes me so happy to smell that. So, just be very careful about creating that environment and really what works for you. And some people like the scented candles and all of that, but it's cultivating it to really support, your happiness and makes you feel good in that space.
Oh yeah. So don't get me started on scents because not only do I share the scents that shift us, I mean it even in the bad sense of the word, right? Like if
Yeah,
someone's using Fabuloso or they're drenched in cologne and perfume and all of these things, it will shift us into a very negative space. Not only yourself, but everybody around you. And they're hormone disruptors. You're
yeah,
literally poisoning yourself. And what kind of mood and happiness do you think that's going to create for current and long term? Like
yeah.
it's poison and it makes me sick and I can't be around it. And then I have that association with the person and then I'm almost like angry, right? When I
Mhm.
see that person and things like that, or that place, that location. And so you can have positive and negative sense and things like that. So you're right. Let's run towards the things that give us those happy feelings, scents and clothes and colors, everything.
Absolutely, absolutely. I do have one, exception, not preface, exception.
Okay.
So my one exception is, when Michael and I were getting married, my one of my friends gave me this wonderful advice, and she said, "Buy a perfume
Hmm.
that you only wear on your wedding day and wear it, during special occasions." So I said, "Okay." So bought this perfume, put it on my wedding day, and we recently shared an anniversary, and I put it on, which is not the type of stuff I would wear now, but it
Okay.
reminded me of that day.
Interesting.
Can you imagine? And I was thinking to myself, "That's a biohack right there."
Well, it is. I used to teach classes on that when I did essential oils. classes in person, we
Mhm.
would paint, doing paintings and add oils into the painting because it was teaching you how scents hold memory, right? Like if you were to have like an item of an ex-boyfriend's or your grandmother's or whatever, and you found it out of a hope chest and you smelled it and instantly all of those memories flood back.
Yes.
I think that even if it's a custom clean scent perfume that you make, but man, I think you should tell more people that are going to get married about that tip because it's
Isn't that
adorable and it's so sentimental.
I cried, like, it was such a
Aw,
sweet thing, and I said so now and as I said, it's locked away, I never I
okay.
only use it for our anniversary or, special occasions that I really
Yeah,
can you imagine if we just intentionally started to do that now? So every Thanksgiving, we have a specific scent, I don't know, a rollerball or
yeah.
something that so it's another hack to help us kind of evoke some of
Hmm.
the nostalgia, emotion, that happiness that you have together.
Well, thanks for giving me a solution to feel like I'm not missing out because I was like, shit, I've been married almost 20 years. I can't go back and have a perfume. But you solved my problem. You're like, okay, for other things, Jennifer, you can create your
Yes.
own scents. You don't have to miss out.
No, for sure, for sure. I think it's so much fun, and I don't know if I'm off topic, I might not be off topic, but I think it's so much fun to also we have this thought in our heads that
Mhm.
traditions come from before, and we need to stop that and start to create traditions now.
Hmm.
So, as I was sharing, we recently celebrated our anniversary,
Mhm.
and we started a new tradition this year
Oh,
where at the end of our anniversary day, we are going to do a recap little video. So, how did we celebrate our anniversary? What are some things? And we had asked each other questions. It was actually like a shift reflection. I have to activation. We did some shift activations
yes.
and I had like a list of questions ready. And I said, okay, let's talk about these things, things from everything from our wedding day till, the future. And then at the end of our night, we sat together and we did this little video to just commemorate. It's like a time capsule. And we're going to do this every year and just have it in a folder and just come back to it.
I love it, girl. We're always on the same page. We also did shift reflection style stuff for our anniversary, which is 1 week before yours. We're anniversary
Yeah.
sisters. And I had bought this book called The Story of My Life.
Mm.
And Adam and I have our own personal journals. And we started this to where we would take three prompts out of, and each page is pretty in depth, but and we would take 3 prompts, write them in our own journals. We
Hmm.
would write the answers and kind of like how we've done our personal book clubs, him and I in the past, we will get together once a month, doesn't matter where, but somewhere that's comforting to us, and we're going to swap notebooks and we're going to read the other person's journal prompts, right? And talk about it because it's the story of my life and just because we've been married for 20 years does not mean we know everything. There's
For
so
sure.
many things in here, as simple as when I was young, what was my biggest fear? My first heartbreak, you know, or even really, really in depth things, but it helps us to get to know each other even more, like than
Right.
just the daily grind or the experiences that we've had. And so I love that we both incorporated shift reflection into our anniversary celebration.
It was so yes, and this is related to the happiness, hack because I
Yeah.
realized oxytocin, right, which is the love hormone, and it's what
Mm.
helps support bonding and trust and love. So, that definitely boosted that for me because just sitting there and having these conversations about just their different perspectives, right? Different perspectives
Mhm.
that he has and I have on our relationship and where we wanna see it grow, and it's just so beautiful, and then I'm just very sentimental. I'm a sentimental girl and love looking back at old videos and love kind of reliving
Mhm.
moments. So this is a gift we're giving to ourselves for the future.
Yeah,
And
you did a love audit.
yes, yes.
I love
Yes.
that. Hmm.
Oh, so great. So we were this all sparked from dopamine where we were talking about things that create joy. Next on the list, let's go into oxytocin, right? So
Okay.
oxytocin is the love hormone. cuddling, loving, so the bonding, social bonding,
Ugh.
all of those different things. And you can boost this through hugs, caring for others if you're not the physical affection type, or just sharing those positive moments with friends and family, and
Hmm.
even, with work colleagues. So thinking about oxytocin, do you think you have enough of that, Jen? Are there
Mm.
ways that that you help to boost oxytocin in your life, in your world?
I feel like if I had to really take an assessment of all of these different happiness hormones, this is the one for me that I think fluctuates the most because I do not keep a reserve bank full of it.
Yeah.
I am often probably depleted now that you say all this because I think about these things and I'm like not wanting to have physical touch or I need a lot of space. And now I'm curious, okay, well, what am I doing that's depleting my oxytocin bank account? And so I'm going to have to really evaluate this because I've never broke this down into all of the categories. And it's really
Mhm.
helping me to just assess, like, oh, that must be what I'm experiencing. So I can't say that I'm doing anything in particular to boost it, but I can tell you after this chat, I'm going to be learning, or maybe I'm going to learn more on how
Yeah.
to build that particular healthy hormone.
Yes, for sure. It's when thinking about all the hormones, it really helped me as well to break it down. And I think with oxytocin, I'm in a space too, and I think hormonally, I just don't want to be bothered. Like,
Okay.
and I feel like when people sometimes reach out or they ask or they're demanding or all of that,
Yeah.
I just, I retreat. I just don't want to be bothered. Right? I'm in that
Okay.
like I don't give an F. Like
Uh
I'm
huh.
okay being alone.
Uh huh.
So with oxytocin, I think I've taken some reflections when doing this podcast and thinking about there are times that I actually try to spark this by, creating a silly moment with a family member. Or the other day I said to my mother, I said, "Tell me about all the men that you dated," and like tried to like tease her and have a fun like conversation.
Yeah.
And it was just a time of bonding. We spent like an hour talking about that, right? And it was just like that's I if I didn't start off with that silly prompt, we wouldn't have had this memory, right? So
Yeah.
there are times where I'm in this kind of tense space and I create the moment and not wait for the moment to happen, right? So it's just what can I do to spark that bonding with someone, that social, back and forth, or as I said, it doesn't have to be physical all the time if you're not a physical
Yeah.
person, but you
Almost
can
to
create
get,
that.
yeah, you're just trying to like find a way over the barrier wall.
Yeah, yeah. So this one is tricky because I feel like
Hmm.
this takes effort.
It does.
And maybe effort is not the right word, but I feel like it takes effort. And if you're not the most affectionate or you just don't need that kind of affection, how
Or
else can you show
connection.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much because I do see areas in my life instantly that I have a barrier or wall up for connection and vulnerability and things like that. And I can't say it's for any particular reason.
Yeah.
And it's for people that I want to have even more connection with. And so this kind of just feels like it gives me some hope and direction on navigating this because it is something that emotionally I kind of beat myself up over.
Mhm.
And now I feel like I might have a tool to help overcome it.
Yeah. And, as I said, there's ways to hack it so that you can create it
Yeah,
as opposed to just waiting for it to happen.
exactly. Thank you.
Finally, endorphins. So these are the natural painkillers. This is what makes you feel euphoric.
Mm.
And some of the things that you can do to help just boost endorphins is intense exercise. Not for me. Laughter. So, laughter. And we're going to talk with Cathy about the laughter yoga. Eating spicy foods. That's all you, Jen.
I'm all in.
So, laughing and dancing or challenging yourself physically. So, any thoughts about endorphins in your life?
So it sounds like I do all of those except an intense workout.
Hmm.
Like an intense workout does the complete opposite for me.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to a gym. I don't want to run, but I love yoga, Pilates, that type of thing. but I will work outside in the garden for like 10 hours. That's
Yes.
joy for me. And it's physical. It is a workout in a different sense, right? Because I'm building things and I'm digging things up and all sorts of craziness. I laugh all the time. I dance like crazy. And girl, I love a variety of spicy foods.
That
So,
is your jam.
okay. So I found some things that fit.
Yes, exactly. It's funny, like, if you take the spectrum of these hormones and
Uh
start
huh.
putting it on a graph, right?
Yes.
To see where am I kind of most, prevalent, and the other ones, it's like, "Oh, I need a little
Hmm.
more oxytocin," or "I need a little more endorphins in my life."
I feel like it kind of just inspires me how when we were doing the inner economy and it really helped me to audit
Yeah,
where my energy levels are and what my energy accounts were and how I was spending them, it is really making me think just like that.
yeah.
And the account perspective and what's adding to them and taking them away. Like, I cannot wait to write this down and navigate it all when we're done.
Awesome. Great, good. So we talked about the hormones. Obviously, that is a function of your body, of your liver, of your gut, all of that. And before we get into some more hacks, I think we need to also provide some supports on supplements or aids to help you if
Mm,
you are going through this journey. Now, these are things that I have used, and Jen, I'm going to ask you what you've used. Now, these are, things that work for my body. These are things that I have been able to incorporate.
mm, mm.
Obviously, everyone does should do their own research and also, consult a doctor, but these are some of the things that I have incorporated to help with mood balance and also kind of my happiness hormones. So
Okay.
earlier I talked about vitamin D. Now I just don't take vitamin D. I do the D3K2. And I
Yes.
think it's important that you have both of them for maximum absorption.
Yep.
I have definitely felt a difference after boosting from an 8, my sad
Mhm.
single digit number, to where I am today, and I feel definitely just a boost. Low vitamin D can be linked to depression and things like that, and
Mhm.
I think there was just so much there. So those levels are gonna just continue to be optimal because I'm gonna work my darndest not to go back to that single digit spot.
Yeah.
Next is I use magnesium.
Mm,
Specifically, I use magnesium glycinate. Now that is something to help kind of take the edge off, I'm sorry. Take the edge off. It helps with kind of slowing down and releasing some of that stress. I usually
mm.
take it in the evening before sleep, and it helps me to start getting ready for bed, and it also just helps support my overall health. So I do that, at night, and I should probably take more, but I take enough to help me get to that space.
I like that. I just ordered, magnesium oil to put on your
Yes.
feet, and I did it not necessarily for myself, but I wanted to find a connection piece for Charlotte and I, and she has a really hard time winding down at night, and then all of her emotions come up and all of her mind starts spinning because it's the only time she finally has, like, quiet time and
Yeah.
everything's dumping.
Yes.
Which I'm trying to adjust that schedule for her, but I thought, "You know what? I wanna check her protein intake, and I wanna put some magnesium oil on her feet at night." So, do you do that too or
I
just like a
do.
capsule?
Girl, so I bought magnesium oil. It itches, and it says it on the package as well.
Is it for circulation is what makes it itch?
So, yes, and it states on the package that if you're itchy, that means you're deficient. So yes.
Wow.
So I bought
Huh,
this organic and I put it on, and sometimes I have to wipe it off depending on the day.
mm,
Yes. So
good to know.
yeah, so just be prepared for that because I wasn't, and I said, "Oh my god, I'm getting an allergic reaction," and when I read it, it was because of that. So but it's really, really helpful, and you can also get magnesium through baths, your Epsom salt baths, right? Like,
Mhm, yeah, I do that.
that's the magnesium sulfate. So definitely magnesium is a great way to help you release, relax, calm, which
Mm,
can also support that healthy, happy hormones in your body.
huh,
The last 2 pieces that I use in my regimen is L-theanine. So I use L-theanine when I'm having a moment. Like, I'm having a moment, pop me some L-theanines, and I know it sounds terrible. I'm not the I'm sorry if it sounds shady, but that yeah, exactly, exactly. And it's funny because Michael's seeing me eating them, and he's like, "What's that?" I'm like and he goes, "Go ahead, take as many as you need. Take as many as you need."
Uh-huh.
But I know that I'm also trying to regulate my emotions and my stress, and
Mhm.
sometimes my cortisol gets out of control, so I need to figure out a way to do that. And I do that with either L-theanine or ashwagandha.
Yeah.
So those are the 2 kind of break in case of emergency kind of help, and, those are some of the things that I've used in my regimen to help me support the happy hormones in my body. How about you? Is there anything we talked about gut health and how that's important. So
Yeah, that's my big one. I could go on and on and on about stories of hospitalizations and just health issues for myself. And every single time, the only thing, and I mean the only thing that corrected it or got me out of the hospital or whatever the case may be, was correcting my gut health. Like, if you go to a hospital, right, and they're pumping you full of antibiotics and all this other stuff, don't even get me started, right? But it kills your immune system, and would show signs of not getting better, and I would say, "I'm not taking this, that, and the other anymore. I'll stay under your care, but I'm loading up on probiotics," and I would magically start getting better
yeah,
and be able to go home. Well, I wasn't raised in a home that health was ever on the table
right.
or researching it. It was always about popping pills and going to the doctor and just listening to everything that they say and not thinking for yourself. And after a ton of years of doing the same thing, expecting a different result, which is, yes, the definition of crazy,
Yep.
I was like, there's something to this gut health. And I started doing my research, and then I did one of those at home tests. It's called Viome, the one that I did with a V. And they test your gut biome and they let you know exactly what probiotics specifically your body needs instead of just taking like random probiotics off the shelf,
Yeah.
right? Because you might be targeting 1 out of 10 that you need. And who
Mhm.
wants to take 10 different types of probiotics? It's super expensive. And so, anyways, it was awesome. I got it and they customize exactly what I need. They even do my vitamins, my multivitamins, they customize it exactly to what my body needs. And I pay no more than I was for all of my other vitamins before.
Wow.
And I'm telling you what, game changer. I cannot tell you how consistently healthy I have been, consistently like, brain function and nervous system. And I've had like a few different offenders along the way, right? That didn't have anything to do with my gut health that I've had to address, but I feel so grateful to have finally narrowed this in because I feel like it's changed the game
Yeah,
for a daily, consistent, healthy mindset and moving forward. So, because if you
absolutely.
don't feel well, right, like you're going to have stinking thinking. It's just,
I know, it's so hard, right? And it's just the connection to all of it, so making sure that you're
mhm,
balanced so that you can, focus in on your happiness. All of that is so important.
mhm,
So you had asked about meditation earlier,
mhm.
and what I wanna do is talk about visualization as a biohack to happiness.
Okay.
Picture this, you have booked your dream vacation, and you will do everything and anything you wanted to do. You're excited about it. You're thinking about the foods you're gonna eat, the terrain you're gonna see, all of the wonderful things. And when you have that goal, so you're taking this trip in another month, you are just in that space. You're happy, you're excited, and that elicits happiness, but you're not on the vacation. You're thinking about it. Or let's say you knew that you won the lottery, but the check hasn't come in yet. Even though you don't have the money in front of you, all you're thinking is, I won $5 million. All the things that I'm going to do with that $5 million and really live in that space, right?
Mhm.
So when you think about meditation and visualization, it's the same thing. You're not on that vacation, you don't have the check for the money, but you're in that space and you feel it and everything in you is just screaming happiness because of what's to come.
Mhm.
So, when you think about meditation and visualization for biohacking happiness, it's doing that same kind of exercise. So I've told you that my meditation practices is not about just sitting in total quiet. It's
Correct.
creating that space that really speaks to me or gives me peace or makes me happy. So I invite everyone to take a moment to really think about how can I create that magical place for myself in a visualization. So you could do a positive future visualization. So thinking about an event that will, make you happy or something that you even just create in your mind. So it doesn't have to be a true event. And you just kind of repeat that and repeat that and repeat that. Maybe that's manifestation as well, right? You
Yeah, I was
go in
gonna
those
say it
things.
sounds very similar, yeah.
Or you can think about a specific event if that makes it easier for you to really call that level of happiness and joy into your being. And I think visualization is a big part of really creating your life, right?
Mhm.
Creating the life that you would like to live. And once you start in that space, you realize that you are the ruler and wizard of your life. You are the CEO of your life and you
Mhm.
can make anything happen. So that type of visualization is really important. Another one that can boost oxytocin or serotonin is gratitude visualizations. So
Mm.
taking a step back and thinking about, who are the people that have just fulfilled my life? What are the things that have happened to me that I appreciate, that I just truly am so grateful for to the universe or however you kind of visualize it happening. And being in that space of gratitude, being in that space of, okay, I am so, so appreciative. Also, it's like you're in a space of abundance, right? Things are
Mm.
gonna come because you're so grateful for all the things that you have.
Mhm.
And I tell you, you can't come out of those 2 visualizations upset or stressed or anything because it just
True.
highlights the wonder and the beauty of your life and all
Mm.
that you have. So, this type of visualizations, I think, are really helpful in just when you're having those moments to stop, breathe, and to think.
Well, I think it's even reminding me of, I've had situations where, like I was talking about my kiddos not being in the right, or I shouldn't say the right, but in a positive emotional state,
Right.
and that it weighs heavy, right? Because you always want to help your kids, and I don't want to fix it for them. I'm not that type of mom. I like to just help guide them from wisdom to navigate and make their own decisions because they also have to learn how to walk through things and pull themselves out of it. But I do feel that gratefulness even in those moments because I'm grateful that they are doing self reflection. I
Yes.
am so grateful that they are communicating with me what they're struggling with.
Yes.
And they're essentially trusting me to provide them with unknown support, right? They don't know what they're gonna get from me. I mean, I don't even know what I'm gonna give half the time. If they're, gonna get a hug or if they're gonna get advice, but I am grateful even in those moments that don't seem so sweet and cheery.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what helps us get through it. So I've done all these things just naturally, but I've never analyzed it like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. It's like once you have the tools and you kind of look at it in a different way, you're
Mhm.
easier to access that tool, right?
Hmm.
To come out and
Yeah.
say, "Okay, we're gonna use this and we're gonna use these other tools." So, you can use other visualizations like relax and calm, so just providing yourself with that space wherever that place is for you and thinking
Mhm.
about that. Or even a memory recall, so thinking about
Sure.
one of your joyous times ever with family, with friends, alone, and just bringing that in. So visualizations can also help with kind of stressing with stress and releasing some of that stress, but it can
Mhm.
also kind of elicit the happy hormones in your body and get you just going and saying, "Wow, this is really great." So, this is another biohack for you to take with you and that you could use at any time. If you have 5 minutes, you can do this, and it's just a way to
Yeah.
get yourself happier. All right, so we talked about this a little bit, but playlists and movies. How can that help us get happy?
Oh my gosh, yes, tell me.
Music. Music. It's one of my favorite things to
Mm.
use, and I have music that will pump me up and get me going. Earth, Wind and Fire and Fantasy, that song, girl, you play that and I am singing at the top of my lungs and it always gets me going. I'm excited. If I need a little cozy, happy, kind of flowy, I listen to the Charlie Brown, Vince Guaraldi, like, album
Okay.
because it reminds me of my childhood, and it's so, like it's jazzy and it's sweet. So, create playlist, my friends. Create playlist. A happy, energetic playlist, a smooth and jazzy playlist,
Mhm.
a playlist that's gonna pump you up like you're ready to take on the world, right? And we have a few playlists on our related to our podcast on Spotify. So some of those playlists will help support you as well, and it's something that we've curated to just support the different shifters out there. So that's the importance of music for us. So how about you? What about music speaks to you in this topic?
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that I find, music to pair with my mood, but I think I could use it more to direct my mood, right? I'm
Yeah.
trying to find it currently to pair. Like if I'm moody blues, I'm listening to that playlist I made. If I'm, you know, if I'm empowered and I'm ready to get something done, I've got music for that. But now I'm thinking about, okay, well, what do I want to listen to when I need to get myself into that particular mood? So, again, I've not been using music in the way that I think I could be. So, I have another tool.
Absolutely. Definitely add fantasy to your playlist because it's such a great song. And I think
Okay.
yes, and I think, I use it also to sometimes, like, wallow,
Yeah.
and sometimes in being happy, you have to realize that you have to acknowledge all of it,
Uh
right? So
huh.
if you're in that space of, like, a little bit of funk or a little bit down, like,
Uh huh.
sit with it, listen to that music, listen to that playlist, give a
Uh
good
huh.
cry so that you can move on to
Huh.
the happiness that you need. So playlists are super, super duper important, and we wanna make sure that you use it as one of your tools as well.
Yeah.
Movies or shows, I have some shows or movies that just put me in that happy space. I'm not really a TV watcher, not really
Uh
a
huh.
movie watcher, but there are some that I just feel like I just wanna feel nostalgic. I wanna feel warm and cozy. It's that oxytocin hit.
Yeah.
And just, I am being more mindful of, like, just some of the things that I'm watching. So, definitely, I do like the Hallmark stuff, the Christmas movies. Sometimes I just go back to my childhood and watch some of those cartoons that I used to watch to just make me
Oh,
feel nostalgic. I love doing that. And it just boosts that for me. So, watching those types of movies and really kind of getting into that mood
oh
gets me
my
happy.
God. Now you make me want to like have a Saturday morning cartoon session with the kids and get out all my old, like, He-Man and She-Ra and the Smurfs and Grape Ape and, you know,
Flintstones, yeah, all of that.
all of the things. Gosh, what a great idea. I'm doing that.
It's so much fun, and I was thinking about that with, like, cereals, like, some
Yeah.
of the stuff, or, like, just a fun breakfast and just sitting there watching it in your PJs, like, all of
Oh,
that
yeah.
makes me so happy. So,
Yes.
that's another biohack there. Our happy hormones, some of the different ways that we can biohack happiness through music, through movies, through visualizations, through supplementation, just ways
Mhm.
to help support us and that to just share that you can actually turn this on. You don't have to wait for a happy moment to come to you. You can stop and create a happy moment. And you could do that with your family member. You can do that alone. You can do it in many different ways. But happiness is a huge part of just the health reset, thinking about how am I going to live my life and who doesn't want to be happier? So it's just important to know that you have these tools in your back pocket.
I'm so grateful for this chat because I really needed it. Didn't know that I'm so serious. I didn't know that you could turn it on And I think a lot of people think that I'm just happy all the time, but
Yeah.
I have a heavy load and I like to connect with people when I have positivity and joy to share and bring. But I don't always feel that because I've got a lot on my plate and I tend to withdraw. And it really, really is inspiring me to think about, wow, I don't have to let everything overwhelm me and control me. And I can flip a different switch that I didn't even know was available. So thank you.
Yes, of course. And if there's any other happiness hacks that others have, I'd love to hear them because
Oh,
even when I
yes.
talked about the wedding day perfume, I was
Yes.
just so blown by that. I said, "My gosh, what a wonderful way to create a future moment of happiness," right?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, "Well, how can I start that now? What else can I do now to help support those future moments of happiness?" And that's why
Well,
I
I'm
brought
gonna
up.
tell you right now, I'm gonna start, under our blog page, Shifting Out Loud, I'm gonna start a biohacking happiness, bullet point list, and so shifties can comment or email in their biohacks for happiness, and I'm gonna keep adding them to the list so we can
Yes.
all go and find them. Because I know for me, I might have to reference it from time to time to say, what's something on this list I can do right now? Because I need some tools at my fingertips. So,
Yes.
yes,
'Cause it's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day and the stress and all the things, so to be able to say, "Okay, let me look at my menu and see what I can choose from today because I just need that support."
yeah. Well, I'm super excited next to learn about everything that Cathy is going to share with us because this is something, first of all, I've only heard of from you.
Mm.
And I can't even wrap my brain around it fully, and I'm so excited to hear about it, but I also want to experience it in person, so I'm gonna sign up for one of her classes and experience it, so I'm just so thrilled to learn about this new experience.
Oh, for sure, and as I said, it changed my life because I said to my and, it feels interesting to do it, right? Because you're not laughing organically at something, it's kind of faking your brain out a little bit, and your brain is like, "Oh, wait, something's good happening? Something's oh, okay, let's" and you it's like you automatically you feel a little crazy, but in the best possible way because 'cause you're just sitting there laughing and laughing and laughing, so it's
I'm
gonna
all
be a
in.
really yeah, absolutely. So, everyone, I am super excited for our next shift whisperer or our next special guest. So, we have
Mhm.
Cathy Grippi here, who is a laughter ambassador, and I never thought you can have such a cool title, and she'll explain what she does. But,
Mhm.
I met Cathy when I lived in Florida, so I was in Florida for 2.5 years. And I'm always looking for fun things to do. So I'm always looking for a fun activity or just something that kind of speaks to me. And I saw this ad for laughter yoga. And I said, what is this? I don't even know. Do I have to be proficient in yoga? I'm a good laugher, but I'm not sure what to expect. So I attended this wonderful workshop in Venice, and there was a wonderful group of folks there, and I tell you, I wasn't the same after that. We did really fun activities. We incorporated laughter to just help boost all of those happy hormones, and I'll let her explain what how the event goes, but I have to say this is just such a great biohack for happiness, which is the title of this podcast, and I think about the sessions that I've done, and I've done two sessions with Cathy and her team, and I try to elicit that in my life, right? Sometimes I'll just sit around and just start, and then start laughing, and then just trying to do it myself. And my husband's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm all good. Hold on," and do the same.
See, I can't help it. You
You
laugh, I
cannot,
laugh.
you cannot help it. So it's such an incredible tool. And I think we need to spread the word and we need people to know that they have this. They can do this and it's something that can just change their outlook for the day. So, Cathy, welcome to the Shift Sisters podcast. I'm super excited to have you with us. And I would love for you to just share a little bit about who you are and what you do with our listeners.
Well, Sandra, I'm so happy that you found me and have introduced me to Jennifer.
Yes.
In a nutshell, I'm a recovering angry, nasty B word, who was in a lot of physical and emotional pain for decades. And I
Mm.
had
Oh.
come to a point where I really had hit rock bottom. And as someone who was a caregiver to family members, what a blessing that was to be able to do. I found
Mhm.
myself living in a new state all alone with somebody who else was pretty depressed. And we were not ready to retire when we came here. And 5 years after we got here, he was even more depressed and I was even more depressed. And I realized that I had failure to thrive. I wasn't
Mm.
interested in joining anything or meeting anyone. And that triggered something in my brain. And I said, well, I just need to laugh. I started Googling the word laugh, found a woman. I live off of a major thoroughfare in Venice, Florida called Jacaranda Boulevard. Isn't that a
Yeah.
beautiful word?
Check.
Jacaranda. And so I ultimately got the phone number of a woman who lives on the other. I live on one end, she lives on the other end. It's not that far, but she lives in a gated community. This woman just gave me the code to her gate. I punched it in and I started laughing with her twice a week.
Mm.
And I'm an excellent fake laugher, and fake laughter really matters. And I'll tell you about that later. So I started laughing with her twice a week, and it was during my sixth session. 3 weeks in, during my sixth
Mm.
session, I literally looked like this down my body and said, "What's that? The heck?" Actually, I said, "What the heck is that?" Wasn't angry about it, but I just noticed something different.
Mm.
Fast forward, I came to understand what I felt or what I noticed was hormones being produced in my body that I had not produced in any significant quality in a very long time.
Wow.
So the research shows, and I'm going to forward to you a bunch of research because I'm redoing that page for myself. There's research that shows that when we go ha 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 and when we smile, it triggers our bodies to make certain hormones. And the ones that are really important are dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. And I say them in that order because that comes up to an acronym called that says DOSE. And in
Mm.
order to produce a sufficient healing dose to relieve physical inflammation, mental anxiety, inflammation, you need to go ha 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 for 15 to 20 minutes.
Mm. Mm.
So we don't really get those opportunities as adults.
Right.
As children, we laugh spontaneously. We laugh at things that are inappropriate. As adults, those inappropriate times we stifle,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So as adults, we lose our natural tendency to let it go, to riff in our laughter. And so then what happens is we continue to stuff it and think that laughter is insignificant, inappropriate, and not important. And
Mhm.
what I have learned is that through laughter, I was able to begin to unravel my curved spine. I did not stand straight because my scoliosis had gotten so bad. My insides
Wow.
were all squished. They're still a little bit of a mess, but hey, I did it over years. But I know that whenever I am feeling anxious or physically unwell, all I have to do is take a full breath in and let all my air out with a ha ha. Because even when we take that big breath in and say, ah, we might notice a little relaxation. But if we take that same full breath in and say, our bodies will relax even more because these hormones get dispersed
Mm.
and we are fully emptying our lungs when we laugh.
Mm.
As you ladies are listening to me blather, you're breathing in a shallow amount. It's a small, if this is your lung capacity, you're breathing like this. When we
Mhm.
laugh, we empty it out, causing us to want to refill. So, in a nutshell,
So
that is what got me here. So that
Mhm.
was 2016,
Mhm.
and I laughed for 3 months, and then I had to go home to New England, and that wasn't a good thing for me at the time. Not a good space. This whole circumstance was not what it was supposed to be. My housing arrangement was horrible. My husband took a job for an old client, so he thought he'd be happy. So we went up and did that project for the old client, but I had housing issues. I moved between April and June. I moved 3 times, and that last house had so many problems. I moved again in July.
Wow.
So it was really, really stressful. And I, in May, did get trained to be a certified laughter leader
Mm,
by one of the best laughter leaders ever. His name is Robert Rivas. Look him up.
mhm,
Um, and I couldn't get anyone to laugh with me. So my home tribe, my family, were basically characters in a Seinfeld episode. And I don't fit in a Seinfeld episode. I can laugh about snark. I could be snarky if I chose to be. I used to be really snarky.
mm,
I used to be in construction. So my vocabulary was very um, rough.
mhm,
And those were words that were normal in my day to day. Fast forward, when I hear certain those words again, I kind of cringe. I don't use them as much because I recognize that those are words that are used when people are stressed, feeling powerless. And so I've kind of come full circle to being a bit of a little girl and saying, I'm good. I don't need this.
right. Mhm,
So
mhm,
I didn't get to laugh again until I came back to Florida the following winter.
mhm,
And I started laughing again. And I was like, this is good. This is good. Because let me go backwards a little bit. I wouldn't take any SSRIs,
mhm.
antidepressants, because
Yes,
my friends who did seemed distant to me. I'd
yes.
rather have them be raw than out here. And I didn't
Mm.
want to be out here because I'm out here enough. I didn't need to in life. I I want to be here. I want to be present. And
Mhm,
when you laugh, you are present. This is what I learned. So when I started laughing for that month that I was home, I thought, "Oh, this is great." I went back up to New York because I had to stay there, go back for more of his project, and I couldn't get people to laugh with me. And, uh, I ended up staying there pretty much until the following Christmas, and I started laughing again in January when the person who trained me is they call them snowbirds here. She's from New England. She comes for the winter. I started laughing again, and I said, "That's it. I cannot rely on other people to get me to do this thing called laughter yoga. I was not yet able to do it on my own. So I
mhm, mhm.
started something called Laughter in the Park, and that's where you met me, Sandra. I've
Yes.
been doing Laughter in the Park in Venice, Florida at Centennial Park every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. It's a free
Mhm,
session. It is my gift to the world. Dr. Kataria, the originator of this incredible exercise modality, asks us to give it away, and I see the point. But here in the US, for it to have weight, we need to start charging people because people give things weight if you ask them to pay. In fact, I
mhm,
now have a little can out on my table when I laugh because people insisted on giving me money. People might
mm,
give me $2, they might give me $5, there might be a $20. You never know, but I'm not there for the money, and the money that I collect, I buy things like goofy things. I used these today in my laughter session this morning just because they were here and they seemed to fit the program, and I like a headband. Um, so I started Laughter in the Park, and it took off from there. Um, when the plague hit in 2020, I had a colleague who joined the laughter world with me because she came to the park. She became trained. We found an interior building, a yoga studio that we could laugh in. That was a reasonable price to get people to come in. We still didn't want to charge people. And
yeah.
we started there in March. And within 2 weeks, I think the plague hit and the world shut down. So
Mhm,
we screamed and said, we can't do this on Zoom. Everyone's saying we should go to Zoom. Well, guess what? Laughter yoga is a fabulous modality to practice on Zoom. That's what I've learned. So we opened a Wednesday session and a Saturday session because that mirrored the sessions we had set up in person. Now, in 2025, and for the last several years, I maintain the Wednesday session, and my colleague Jenny maintains the Saturday session because she moved out of state.
Mhm.
So this gives her the opportunity to have a committed session to commit herself to. And for the people who can't make it to the park, who like to laugh with us, they can go to that Zoom session. And so, in a nutshell, that's kind of the genesis of what I've done. In between all of that, I do paid laughter gigs, if you will. I work at at assisted living facilities known as ALFs. Apparently, get the lingo, ALFs, and that you can have independent residents. You could have residents who need some assistance, and then you could have the memory care. And I love each level of life to laugh with. I've also
Yes.
laughed
Yeah.
with children, and I've laughed with all sorts of different groups. And I've laughed with grief groups,
Mm,
helping people find their laughter after loss and other
mm,
traumatic events. So it's a great modality when people are ready.
amazing.
Not everyone can laugh.
Mhm. Mhm. Thank you for taking us on that journey of where it started and
My
where you
first.
are. And I am interested in having you share with our listeners what they would experience in one of your sessions. And, obviously, I had 2 sessions to talk about, but thinking about if someone were to join your in the park Saturday session, what does that look like?
Well, we don't use yoga mats and we don't do yoga poses, but
Mm,
it's all about yogic breath.
mm,
So when you go to a traditional yoga class, which most of us at this point in time have to some degree, we are instructed to take full inhalations. So let's just try one right now. We're
wow.
going to inhale and expand our body as we do. So, diaphragmatic breathing means that you don't suck your gut in. We're going to expand. So, take a big breath in and expand your chest, expand your belly. Take another sip of air. And now let's blow that out as if we're blowing out candles until there's nothing left in it. It'll feel uncomfortable. And when you're ready, fill back up. Take another sip and a grin. And let's let it out with a gentle giggle till there's no more air. So you might have noticed that it was easier to release that air with the giggle. It came out a little bit
Mhm.
faster, and you did fully empty.
Mhm.
People who don't get to laugh or be loud don't empty their lungs because even when we're loud, we express more air.
Mm,
When we don't get to be aerobic like that with our lungs, stuff builds up in the bottom of our lung. And I get really excited when someone in one of my sessions begins to cough because
mm,
that means they have stirred up the dust bunnies at the bottoms of their lungs.
Mm.
interesting.
Ma Yeah, isn't that fascinating that we don't know about this, right?
No.
So, why didn't they tell who didn't tell us that? It's kind of like if you've ever had surgery or you know someone who has surgery of some sort, and afterwards they give you a little plastic pipe with a ping pong ball in it, and they tell you to blow in it. If you've ever been in that circumstance, because I have, you feel awful, you feel like a failure because you're in a situation where they're trying to encourage you to breathe deeply, but I don't have that breath. They don't teach you how to breathe. They didn't teach me how to breathe.
Yeah.
What we'd like to do is get them to switch into asking people to laugh because that will get things going. So in the class, I explain about that. I explain that we do certain things. We clap our hands to stimulate the acupressure points in our body, and also because clapping is playful. We smile, we make eye contact with the others in the group because that creates connection,
Mhm.
even with strangers. When you have a
Mhm.
cocktail or a nibble or a laugh with strangers, you feel a little bit connected, right? So
Mhm.
that really matters. So we're playful, we make eye contact, we clap, we laugh, we dance around, we sing silly songs, and oftentimes we change the words to songs to haha because we know the intent of the song, but it's in the ha-has that we produce these healing hormones.
Mm.
And as I said earlier, we need to go ha 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 for 15 to 20 minutes to to produce a sufficient healing dose of these hormones that make us feel better, make us look better, make us
Mhm.
think more clearly. It's an amazing experience to have, but you must participate. You could be a witness and you'll get a little benefit. But if you dive in
Yes.
and do all the movements to your ability and laugh with gusto to your ability, I guarantee you will look, think, and feel better.
Mhm.
I
So I have a
oftentimes,
question. So just to clarify for people, there's no getting on the ground or lying on the ground. You're not laying on the ground and laughing because I think a lot of people might naturally just assume that, right?
Mhm.
Because they're thinking, oh, yoga is getting up and down a lot. And I know you said there's no actual yoga movements, it's more yoga breath, which is great. But this just shows that it's actually super doable for anybody in any age range and ability, physical ability, because, you know, I think people would hear yoga and instantly put up a block of as to
yeah.
why they can't do it. And
hmm
I love this so much. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Well, I don't know if one of my Saturday gals was there, Sandra, when you came. I have a gal that comes in a wheelchair,
Mm.
and she
Mhm.
had a
Mhm.
severe stroke several years ago, so her ability to use her limbs is very limited. She does stand up and sit down, but it's a wobbly situation. She can't clap her hands, but she does what she can. Even
Mhm.
her vocalization is not what it used to be. So she does what she can, and she does it because she can. And that's one of the beauties of this exercise. That's why I love going into assisted living facilities because people think that they can't.
Right.
And when
Mhm.
I get them to, and I apologize, I have something on the other side of the desk. Remember when we were children, we used to have those paddles with a
Mhm.
ball and an elastic string? I don't know
Yes.
about you, but I used to drive my mother crazy. I could go boop, 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 and she'd say, "Would you get out of the house with that?" Right? So a year or 2 ago, I walked into a Dollar Tree. They had them. I just grabbed them, and I couldn't do it. I could not do it. So
Mhm.
I said, "Well, how am I going to have that experience?" So I brought them into an assisted living facility where it was independence, and I handed them all one. And I instructed everyone to let that ball drop down and then pull the string from the back until there was about 5 inches of string. We wrapped the string around the paddle, and then we had that experience.
Mm.
And when we have that physical boop, boop, boop experience, all of a sudden our brain takes us back to those days when we could do it easily.
Yeah. Mm.
So mastering it several decades later is not necessary. Experiencing or triggering those memories of joy is what matters. So, in a
Mm.
laughter session, we also do a lot of physical things that are
Mhm.
playful. Sometimes we use props, sometimes we don't. It depends on the mood or the circumstance. So, it's all about intention and playfulness and inviting yourself to be silly and goofy.
Mhm. Yes.
'Cause
I remember our snowball fight in Venice when So she would bring these snowballs and we would just hurl them at one another laughing. And it was just such joy. And I felt like a child again in the best possible way. So that was a really fun and physical part of the experience that I had.
Well, I can also
Yes.
see, if you have a group of friends or family members that maybe you guys don't always have like an easy way to connect and to get on that same frequency, this would be a great experience to take that group to go and do a laughter yoga together because, like she said, it helps you to connect with
Mhm.
people and it helps you get on that same frequency.
Exactly. We're trying to bring laughter yoga into classrooms
Yes.
I love it.
because we firmly believe that there's a lot of stress in the world. We don't need to
Mhm.
discuss the stress. We just know that it exists. So imagine being a classroom teacher. You drove to work, and before you drove to work, you might be a mom or a dad and had to deal with whatever's going on. The laundry wasn't done, the lunch, well, you have your own kids. So you get there, you walk in and you walk in the office to pick up your messages for the day and you find out that, oh, plan C today. You don't even, whatever you planned is out the window. So you got that and you're walking to your classroom and you get a classroom full of children who had their own experiences.
Yeah.
So everybody's
Mhm.
out here and the teacher
Mhm.
begins to teach. Those stressors are still there. We believe that if you can take a moment to start your day collectively as a group, just 5 minutes where you take a breath in and you wave at each other with a giggle or you make a silly face. Whatever you as a teacher gives permission to do is okay. All of a sudden, you've taken some of that stress out of here and off of here and put it in the coat closet.
Yeah. Mhm.
It's the easiest way that you can do that in a classroom, in an office, in a medical facility, anywhere.
Mhm. Amazing. Now, you talked about dose, right? So, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. So, so in doing laughter yoga, are all four of those stimulated during that time, or is it
Yes.
more one or
What the
the other?
research has shown. That's what the research has shown. So, insulin is another hormone,
Mhm.
and they've created some sort of patch that you can wear that communicates to your phone or some device to tell you, oh, you need some insulin.
Mhm.
I lived on cortisol for so long that
Mm.
that was my normal experience. But cortisol is the hormone we produce when we're angry, sad, lonely, depressed, and meh. It's the cortisol and adrenaline are what give us the power to keep moving. But those hormones can lead to dis-ease, physical and mental dis-ease if they are not diluted with the other hormones.
Mm.
Hence, I was the perfect example, right? I became so tense that my spine spiraled because my lower body, it started there. And even to
Wow.
this day, right now, today I actually start my journey in stretching the lower part of my body physically with an assist of a human being. So some things you have to unwind in a variety of ways. But so if you
Yeah.
think about if you if you see people who are perpetually angry or gruff and they always have the negative thing to see or they see all the negative, they never see the positive, it's because they've been living on that. And I
Mhm.
can have empathy for them because they don't know what they don't know. And they're so right in staying there that that's the safe place. And that's why when I first started feeling the dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins, I went, what is that? Now I know that when I get into a tear or a tangent of something that has upset me, angered me, depressed me, whatever, I can go, oh, I can fix this. And all I
Mm.
do is laugh. Sometimes I'll call someone up or I will find a laughter session on Zoom to jump into because it's always more fun to laugh with other people.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
I'm just
One
like thinking, oh my God, my brain's just exploding with all of the people that, I mean, there's not one person that would not benefit from this, not
Mhm.
one person. But I'm sitting here thinking about certain people that are so induced with anxiousness on a regular basis that is actually hindering their personal life and growth and success. And I'm thinking, wow, what a beautiful way to biohack happiness through
Mhm.
laughter and to help reduce
Exactly.
those anxious feelings and things like, oh my God, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And, for some people, meditation works. I can't I have yet to be able to meditate in whatever I
Uh-huh.
think real traditional meditation is, but laughter is a meditation.
Uh-huh.
When you laugh, you cannot think.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
So I do some brain gym exercises to demonstrate that. And, you wanna try one?
Yes. Yes.
Alright, so let's take another breath in and grin, and as you begin to giggle, put one finger on your nose. And keep laughing and look how silly we look. Your nose like this.
Uh,
Now you have another hand. As you laugh, reach over and touch the ear on the other side of your head and keep laughing. Don't stop laughing because I talk. You keep laughing. I can't talk anymore. Now switch.
Oh gosh.
Keep
uh,
laughing. So can you switch?
uh.
Can you switch, Jennifer?
Oh,
Can
I
you switch?
did. Oh, good. Oh, God.
Now we're gonna roll and switch. Are you ready? Keep laughing. Roll and switch.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Roll and switch. I
oh,
almost went right up my
wait.
nose.
I don't even know now.
But do you see that while you're laughing, it's really difficult to think about what you're doing, right?
Yes.
Mm,
You could do it with a tap your head, rub your belly sort of thing. Same thing.
mhm,
If you're going to do that and switch. So when we were kids, we would do that and switch. We really didn't add the laughter. The laughter happened when we were kids.
mm,
In laughter yoga, we start with the laughter to
Mhm.
just give ourselves a little bit more of a challenge because any reason to kick up the laughter, any reason to get the laughter to be more natural
Yes.
is what we're after. So, as I said earlier, the research has shown that faked laughter is very effective,
Mm.
maybe even a tad more effective from what I've read um, in producing these hormones. It's all about the ha ha. And so, my role as a laughter leader is to encourage the people with me to go ha 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 for a minimum of 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
Anything we do getting there, as long as it's legal, safe, and um, discreet,
Yes.
is is fun, right?
Yeah. Wow. I was just about to ask how long, 15 to 20 minutes is the sweet spot to get us to release those
What the
hormones?
says gets to our bodies to produce the dose that they see a change in the
Mhm.
amount of these hormone levels, the amount of people reporting pain relief.
Mhm.
Headaches disappear. I one day had to go into an assisted living facility after having oral surgery the day before.
Oh,
And my
wow.
dentist said to me, "Don't laugh." I said, "That's out the window." But driving to this place, I was like, "Oh, how am I gonna laugh?" I just got into my routine and I happened to notice the clock, and within 10 minutes, the pain in my mouth was 0.
Mm.
And it's
Mm.
moments like that in my life that tell me I don't need some research paper
Right.
to show me the benefits. I am my own
mhm,
research paper. In fact, when I joined the Association for Applied and Therapeutic Humor, commonly known as AATH, um, I joined their humor academy because
Mm.
my laughter mentor said, come to this conference and join the humor academy. And I had nothing else going on. So I plunked my money down and I joined the 3-year program. One of the best things I did in this program, we all have to do some sort of project around humor
Mhm.
and laughter. And I ended up letting myself be the project because it was the early stage of my laughter. And I watched in 3 years how I grew and changed. And people in that organization have told me how different I am from when they first met me to
Wow.
who I am now.
Aw.
Um, there's lots of wonderful projects that have come out of there that really help put value in laughter. And
Mhm.
there is a little bit of difference that we need to understand between laughter and humor. Not all laughter requires humor, and not all
Mhm.
humor is to all
True.
people.
True.
So, um, I'm getting um, to a point where I can find some humor more humorous than I did before, but I need the laughter first.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, and that's part of my unwinding my own. Um, I see myself as one of those airplanes that you wind up and then stick in the
Mm.
drawer. So in the
Mhm.
middle of the night, shoot it at your sister. That's my life. So, but if you forgot it and then things got on top of it and then you took it out of the drawer, that rubber band doesn't unwind very quickly. So
Yes.
I'm almost at the end of my unwind. So if we can look at laughter and humor as separate things, we know that we can fast forward to the ha-has with laughter exercises. So I recently participated with another AATH Humor Academy graduate, and their project is healing headbands. And they go into hospitals with children with cancer. And in the process, we meet the children, we laugh with the children, and then we sit them down in front of a specific size piece of paper with some watercolors, and they get to paint. And in the end, they create a headband. Do you mind if I step away for half a second? Because I need to
Go for
reach
it.
one to show you.
Yes, yes, go.
I'm
Mhm.
so interested in inviting her to do one here on our property. I would love to host a laughter yoga. I don't
Yes.
know if she travels, so I'll definitely have to ask her, but I'm like, "Oh my god, I would love to do that." I mean,
Where is
I
your
wanna
prop?
go and experience her in person first, but
Well, I also want to connect you with other laughter yogis because I'm a great laughter yogi and I can say that with confidence and without ego. I have to accept the acknowledgement. And that's a hard thing. Can you accept how your compliments? This is
mhm.
something I have
Mhm.
learned to do in these several years. So here is a healing headband. So this was someone's art.
Wow.
And so this was a piece of fabric that was stitched together here.
Mm.
And if you can imagine, whoever painted this one, that was their painting. And the
Beautiful.
concept is that when you lose your hair, you might want something
Mhm.
that you experience joy wearing.
Mm.
So
I think
I
it's
love the Healing Headbands Project. But if you think about it, it's the same thing with anything.
Mhm.
If you laugh first and then do the hard thing in front of you, it
Aw.
will be because
Oh my
you
god.
can,
What a t Yes, like, what a tool to go into the hard things with laughter, and how that flooding your system with a bit of dose, the dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. It's definitely a hack. It's a way to kind of take on the world and take on life, and stress is inevitable, but maybe there's a way to really work against that. So I love that.
I
and
Awesome.
I
see
don't
more
think I
craft
get,
days in front of Sandra.
yeah,
Yes, I
like,
do.
really, if
Mhm.
you're doing a craft project, Do a little bit of laughter first. Join a laughter session. Just do your own laughter and movement.
Yes.
And because that's going to get your juices flowing so that your brain opens up and takes all of the worries away. Like I
Mhm.
Mhm.
woke up this morning with today is like the busiest day in my life this week. And I woke up with, oh my gosh, I will have to look at my calendar when I'm done because whatever was stressing me this morning is gone because I laughed. I did a
Yes.
laughter session.
Mm.
So my to-do list is over there, but in my brain, I don't have to think about it until I'm done with you.
Good.
I
And
l
that's such a great way to prioritize and not let the stress just overwhelm you. I love this.
Mhm. For sure. So, Kathy, is there any practice, any short practice that you would recommend our listeners to do if they wanted to dip their toe into laughter yoga? Some short tidbit of what they can start doing today if they wanted to explore this?
You know, just start your day smiling. And
Mm,
every time you see yourself in the mirror, make sure you smile. Don't be angry at yourself if you don't have that smile. Just notice that you don't. Because when you are out in public and someone smiles at you, don't you often smile back?
yes.
It's a gift. If you smile at someone who's not smiling, you might notice that it will be difficult for them to smile back,
Mm,
but just grin a little harder. And then when they give it back to you, give them a wink and say thank you. Because a
mhm,
smile is a gift. A smile and eye contact means that you're noticing people. Offer people compliments. Even if it's just, I love those earrings on you, Sandra.
mm,
And
mhm.
sometimes I get a little crazy, like, don't leave that sweater anywhere, I might take it. But that can elicit a giggle, right?
Mhm,
Or wow, I have something that someone covets. I didn't value this so much. Wow. So we
Huh.
you never know what the darkness is in somebody's heart,
yeah.
but
True.
you could always share your light. And when you share your light, you get brighter.
Mm, I love that. Oh my goodness. Well, Kathy, where can people find you? How can they find out more about laughter yoga? We'd love to kind of spread this message around. So,
I'd love for you to spread this message. I love that you're even interested. So I am Laughter Yoga Venice. So
Mm,
all you have to look up laughter yoga, add the word Venice because I live in Venice, Florida. That's my website. From there,
mhm,
you can go to classes and join one of my classes. There's Laughter Yoga USA. That is the organization where laughter yogis in the Americas are
mhm,
finding coalescence. And we are doing a whole bunch of programs to support one another and to connect people. Also, if you're looking for a laughter leader in your area, going to Laughter Yoga USA, they can help you find one. The originator of laughter yoga would be laughteryoga.org.
mhm,
That's the
mhm,
originator. That's Dr. Madan Kataria. So Dr.
mm,
Kataria was practicing medicine and in 1995 was really stressed. He was also writing a blog that he typed and printed on copy paper. And he was so stressed, he said, what's this thing about laughter? He started researching it himself. He had his wife and 3 friends who met every day in a park every morning. He started them with jokes. And they learned in a short time, within 2 weeks, that what made Cathy and Jennifer laugh didn't make Sandra laugh, and what made Sandra laugh didn't make many people. So he said, "Wait," because they said, "Forget it." And he said, "No, there's something else." He said, "Wait, come back tomorrow. I'll think of something." And he realized it's about the laughter. So he's the man who
mhm.
decided that we need to expand our lungs as we inhale, get bigger, and just laugh. So how did he make exercises? One of his friends was a tailor. So he said, "How do you measure fabric?" And he measured fabric like this. You can't see my arms, but stretching them out. So
Uh-huh.
we would go, ah, ah, any way to do it. Cocktail laughter. We call it cocktail laughter in the US. They call it lassi or milk laughter because in India, they mix milk in cups, in
Uh-huh.
beakers to, I don't know how it works, but they mix it in beakers and they go, ha, 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 shake it up and drink it back. So they use the natural everyday activities to
Ooh.
find ways to exhale in ha-has. Now, you can do it every morning. You could look at yourself in the mirror, and when you apply some soap or some lotion, imagine it's laughter cream
Oh,
and laugh.
I love that.
Ah,
I'm
giggle
just
juice, here we come.
Okay,
I'm
and
just
let me
sitting
tell
here
you,
going, I'm
I
sorry, go
have
ahead.
to tell you something. When I am mindful, especially when I go into a grief group, I
Mm.
will encourage them to take their phones out, take a quick selfie. It's just for them. I don't want to see it. Don't make any expression. Take a quick selfie and put it down. And if I forget, please take a photograph of yourself when you're done. And the first time I did that in a grief group, it was all women. And they had heard 2 lectures before me. We did the laugh, and then it was lunchtime. So after we laughed, we came back into their room with the tables, and they grabbed their lunch, and I was walking around saying goodbye, and I completely forgot to remind them to take their selfie. And I approached one woman who had to be in her 50s, young, and she said, "Do you wanna see my pictures?" And it didn't connect for a hot second as I was handing her a clown nose. And I said, "Sure." And the difference between her before and her after was startling for me.
Mm,
I said, "What do you
mm,
see?" She said, "I'm relaxed." So, you know, I do it a lot. I've done it before and after laughter sessions, especially if I'm driving someplace and I'm a little stressed. I'll take a quick photo and then I'll do the after. You literally get a facelift. But the best way is to find a laughter group, join it, participate regularly, a
yeah.
minimum of once a week, um, and become a laughter leader. Share it, spread it.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I want to tell you one more thing anecdotally. I went on a horrific road trip this summer. I mean, it just wasn't pleasant. And I was
Mm.
gone for a little over 4 weeks. I didn't get to laugh the whole time. We had some really horrible experiences. And in the end, I couldn't laugh with anyone. My time zones changed. The people I connected with changed. The people I wanted to laugh with, I couldn't because where I was, I couldn't make any noise at that hour.
Hmm.
So I didn't get to laugh. And I was a little bit of a mess. And when I came home, it took about a week and a half, 2 weeks of jumping into laughter sessions where I felt centered again.
Aligned. Huh.
So it's a
Wow.
practice just like anything else. If you stop working out, when you go back, it will be a little bit
Mhm.
harder, but you'll get back like riding a bike. You'll get to do it
Mm.
again.
Oh, Kathy, I'm thinking about my laughter cream and I'm thinking about I work from home, so if I start my meetings with a laugh, I think that would be just a different my everything will change. Perspective will change. The way I approach meetings will change. I think this is such a powerful tool in the navigation of our day to day. So thank you for bringing this to our conversation.
I know. I'm looking up and I'm just like trying to find laughter clubs in all the places of areas that I know people at so I can get them to it. And I'm just like, wow, I love this, but I think there needs to be more laughter ambassadors because, like,
Yes.
Cathy is in Venice, I'm in Paris. And so we're about an hour away from each other, but there's only 3 in Florida, period.
There's
And we
only
need more
3
laughter
that you can
ambassadors.
find. I'm sorry for interrupting, Jennifer. There's
Oh,
only
you're
3 that you can
good.
find. And here's the challenge. There's more than 3 in
Hmm.
Florida. And the
Okay.
challenge is some people do not charge anything
Okay.
and
Mhm.
and therefore don't really have resources to be listed on sites
Mm.
and to be out there. That's one of the things we're doing with Laughter Yoga USA because not
Mhm.
everyone keeps their membership up with Laughter Yoga International. I am
I
listed
see.
there. You can go there and you'll find it that
Yep.
I'm a lead. You first become a leader, then you become a teacher. And in
Mhm.
between, when Secretario recognizes the efforts and work that you're doing, he anoints you with the title of ambassador. That's his
Mm.
recognition appreciation. So they're out there, and we are working really
Okay.
hard with Laughter Yoga USA to coalesce our group. We kind of went a little dormant during the plague as an
Mhm.
organization, but we are working really hard. We're doing some workshops. We have one coming up in November where someone who has been working in the ALF world for a long time is going to do a workshop for laughter leaders who want to hone their skills and get some tips. And we're going to
Hmm.
continue to do that. We had a day of laughter here in Venice this spring at the Ringling Museum.
Mm.
And that was a lot of fun, and I'm gonna go back to them and try to get more laughter at the Ringling going forward. So, yeah, Jennifer, join us on Zoom.
Yeah.
Can I host one and you would come and teach it?
Yes.
Because I'm only an
Abs
hour from you. So
Yes, no, I would definitely do that. I would definitely do that.
Amazing.
that would be amazing.
I know.
And
This is just
as a teacher, I can train you. I can
Oh,
certify you. So,
mm,
yeah,
Jennifer has a
this
great
is
laugh, though. She
this
I
is
know she
exciting.
she
That's
would
how we met. My laugh was like my caw and it got your
Yes.
attention.
I met Jennifer. I joined this woman's group and everyone was talking and everyone was doing their thing, but I heard this abundant laughter of just every 5 seconds I heard this laughter and I said, "Where is that beautiful sound coming from?" And I see Jennifer and she's like holding court. There are people around her and they're all talking and she was the one that I said, "I need to know that person because she is living and loving life." And I felt like someone asking someone out on a date. So I sent her a message and I said, "Would you like to go out with me?" And then it's been history ever since. We just connected and just since I've moved and I'm here in Texas, she and I just have the strongest relationship and started this podcast and the rest is history, as they say.
And we're
and
continuing to laugh every day.
it is a connector. Can I invite you girls to maybe do a laughter blast for 10 minutes and see how high you can get?
Oh gosh, yes.
I want to get you
I
higher.
didn't expect that one coming, but okay. I'm
Let's
like,
do
I'm
it.
in. You sold me. You sold me.
So, are you all familiar with feeling your chi or your life energy?
Yes.
Have you ever
Yes.
Mhm.
done that? So I didn't know that. I didn't know how to do that when I started this. So
Okay.
my chi is pretty warm today because I've been laughing. I've been having fun with you. There's nothing that's brought it down because things will happen. I'll hear something. Someone will do something.
Mhm.
It can, it, things bring us down, but what brings us back up? So let's just take a moment, bringing our hands close, but don't touch them. And just without making any noise, feel what happens when you giggle silently. Is there any movement of the energy? There might not be. It's okay if there isn't. All right, let's take a big breath in. In fact, let's reach our arms up as we inhale. Spread them out a little bit as you take another sip and a grin, and bring them down to your sides with a giggle. Let's reach forward, twinkle our fingers. Twinkle your fingers. There you go. When you're ready, take a breath, bring your hands to your shoulders, inhale, and let them down with a belly laugh. All right. Are you ready? We're going take one hand and raise it up. The other hand's going to go down. You're going to push those hands in either direction to give yourself a stretch. But when you do it, inhale, look up, and bring your hands to center with a bring, bring your hands in front of you. Are you ready? Go the other way. Inhale, stretch. And come back to center with
Ah.
I talked about our lungs, a series of 3 exercises that will affect different parts of our lungs. The first one is for the upper part of our lungs. So we're going to take our hands, we're going to put them back to back, and we're going to create the shape of the top of a heart and tuck it behind our head as we inhale. So inhale, hold it, bring your hands behind your head. And when you're ready, bring your head forward and bring your torso forward and laugh it out. Take a breath in. Let it out again. One more time. Inhale. Let it out again. And release your arm. What really just affected the upper parts of your lungs, it opened them up because of the physical part of your arms. The next
Ugh.
one we're going to reach. So put your hands in prayer position. Reach up and stretch. As you hold that breath, stretch from side to side. Bring your hands to your legs and laugh it out. The reason that you pitch forward is to push the air, have your diaphragm push. So reach up again one more time. Inhale and stretch. Now weave it out with giggles. One more time. Up, inhale, stretch. Cross your wrists. Bring your hands to your thighs as you laugh. And now with your hands on your thighs crossed, do the Charleston to ha-has. Move those legs. Here we go. Ha, ha,
Ha ha
ha,
ha ha
ha,
ha
ha,
ha.
ha, ha, ha.
Ah.
Really, you got to move your hips. The last one in this series is for the lowest part of your lungs. It is a yogic breath called the Ujjayi breath. Oh, it's called the lion's roar. So if you've taken a yoga class and they had you do this, and
Yeah.
let's just do that exhalation. Forget the hand movements. We're going to do the exhalation because I want you to feel where that air is coming from. So take a breath in. Go ahead and add a grit. Stick your tongue out, point it down, and go. Coming from down below.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
We add the ha-ha to the. And today we added a sassiness that really got me going. So we're, instead of putting our paws up, we're going to think about a situation recently or sometime in our life where we wanted to go na 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 na, but we knew that it was totally inappropriate. But that's what went on in our head. So we're going to let that out, kind of like those tears that we let out when it's private. Think about that
Uh-huh.
moment. Give it your best na 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 na. We're going to take a breath in. We're going to put our hands on our hips, stick our tongue out, and go. Now, you can't just do that once because the first one is the tease. So take a breath in. Go ahead, let it go. Be 5 years old. One more
I
time
need a
because
lot
I
of
love
laughter practice.
it. One more time. Here we go. When I was doing this earlier, I was standing up, my whole body got into it. So this
Yeah.
allows you to be childlike. And it's Jennifer, am I noticing that it's like, "Oh, I haven't been silly like this in a little bit."
Well, that, but I'm like, to me, I feel like it's a completely different form of laughter that I haven't explored. And I think for me and maybe most people, they would be like, well, I laugh. I know how to laugh. And I'm like, wow, no, this is very different laughter because you're activating different parts of your body, different organs, different memories, different emotions. And it, like you said, you're that dose, right? They're all activating and it feels different and unusual until you get familiar with it. And so it's making me realize just I have so much to explore.
Well, I'm gonna take us on a little run. I want you
Oh,
to see, because of what you said, I want you to see what a minute of laughter feels like. Now, I don't have a minute hand oh, wait, I do. I do. I have a second hand. So we're gonna laugh for a minute straight.
oh God.
Yeah, good idea. Take a
I'm
sip
like, oh
because
God, I have to pee. I might pee
well,
myself.
that's a great answer. We're gonna start out with silent laughter because you should always practice your silent laughter. Never
Okay.
Okay.
contain your laughter, just use it with the volume that's appropriate for the space. So
Oh,
you might be
I
in
don't know
court,
about
church,
that.
somewhere. Yeah, I know. Sometimes we have to practice it. So we're gonna start out with silent laughter and I'll help you raise it up. So take a big
Okay.
breath in, add a grin, and here we go.
Ah, ah, ah. Oh. Oh.
Oh, with a nice, well, yeah, you feel it here. How's your tummy feeling?
Oh
Did you
my
feel it
gosh.
in
Ugh,
Yes.
so we're using
it's jacking up
so
my
many
TMJ.
you're using well, that's the whole point. If you got TMJ, we're gonna laugh at your TMJ. Let's hold her jaw. Let's hold our jaw and laugh. I love
The
it.
rapper.
Get right in front
Oh.
of you. Laughter lotion. Scoop it
Yeah.
up right in front of it's going at you. I rub it in.
Oh, I love it. And we both have
Take
TMJ,
one
so this
more
I
breath in
know.
and let it go. Bring your hand
Oh.
together again. See if there's a stronger warmth or energy between your hands.
Mhm.
Let's do that silent laughter because when I laugh, I feel it gets it to move for me. So let's silently go and see if it's moving. A little more powerful, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
these hormones literally begin to be outside of us. You feel it on your hands. When you
Yeah.
practice laughter yoga, you get beyond that state of weird. Jennifer, you are in the sweet spot of, wow, I've never done this before. This is really weird. Why am I laughing like this? You're looking for the congruency or the
Yeah.
incongruency here. That it's
Mhm.
not, it's what we're doing isn't funny, so it doesn't get you to laugh. Although sometimes what I do as a laughter leader seems funny to people unintentionally on my part, so it gets them to laugh. It doesn't matter. I don't care why you
Mhm.
laugh. They say in laughter
Yeah.
yoga, you shouldn't laugh at people. Quite frankly, you shouldn't care if people laugh at you. You should just care that people laugh. If
Yeah.
you take it personally, that's on you. Just
Mhm.
give it back to them, right? So
Mhm.
the point is to get yourself to laugh more often and for no reason, because really there is a reason for your
Oh,
own physical and mental well-being.
yes. Jen, let's do a check-in to just share how we're feeling now from coming into this podcast and call, and now that we've laughed for, with Cathy in a few seconds. Like right now, I feel buzzy, if that's a good word. I feel energized. I feel like I can
Mhm.
take on the day. The things that I have scheduled for later on today doesn't seem as onerous or overwhelming.
Mhm.
I feel like I wanna go, hug my husband. I feel I feel very I guess high, as you said, Kathy. I feel all of those things. So, how about you, Jen? What is your check-in after doing this, session?
I feel like some of the weight has been lifted and a little bit hopeful and empowered to tackle some of those hard things that are on my list that have been overwhelming me. So I feel like motivated to finally go after them instead of hide.
Mhm. Amazing, amazing. Kathy, do you have a check-in on how you're feeling now after you've done all of this?
Actually, I share some of Jennifer's energy in that there are things that I've been hiding from, avoiding,
Mhm.
washing dishes instead of doing. And I feel more confident that I will be able to um, address them today
Mhm.
Mhm.
because, there are things in life that we just don't really want to do, but we have to because we're grown-ups and there's nobody who's
Yep.
going to do them for us.
Yeah.
And and it's okay to feel sad, overwhelmed, um, confused. It doesn't matter if you laugh. You forgive yourself because in laughter, we have something called forgiveness laughter. And it's I can be mad at you, but I can also forgive you. And I can
Mm.
also forgive myself
Huh.
for wasting time, not addressing things. We're so good at seeing what's wrong with ourselves. How good are you at seeing what's good with yourself? So, as I said earlier, I'm a good laughter leader. That's an important thing for me to say out loud, for me to hear it.
Yes.
Mhm.
Mm.
Huh.
Because, you might doubt
Yeah. No, this was amazing, and even just thinking about this last 2 things that you mentioned, the forgiveness, laughter, and things like that, I would have never put that all together, and the power of laughter and what it can do to really transform our lives. So,
Mhm.
Kathy, thank you for bringing the laughter and just all of this wonderful joy and the talk that we just had. And listeners, go on to the Laughter Yoga website, try to find someone in your area. We're going to continue to explore this because it's such an
Yes.
important topic. And it's a wonderful way to just bring happiness and joy throughout just everyone and to build that community.
and it
Before we,
starts with you, Sandra. It
yes,
starts with each one of us.
yes.
If we walk
Mhm.
in the room like this
Mm,
or like this, we can set the tone.
mm. Thank you, Kathy, for such a wonderful conversation. This was exactly what we needed. I think both of us, Jen, I
Yes.
took away so much from today. And Kathy, at the end of every podcast, we have something called a shift activation. It's an opportunity for our listeners, it's an invitation for our listeners to explore the topic at hand. And
Mhm.
truly, my only shift activation, I usually have a few, three, four, or five that I like to invite, but my only shift activation is an invitation to laugh, really, to find those little moments, to come into a meeting or a circumstance or a situation that might bring on a little stress and to do a little laughter exercise. We did a few here on this episode, so rewind back and see if some of these exercises can be incorporated and to start that once a week, 15 minutes or
Mhm.
just something just to get started. So that is my shift activation for our listeners here.
Can I add a recipe to your shift activation?
Love
When
to
you
hear
are
it.
when you are stressed and you notice whenever we get stressed, we take a breath in. How are you
Mhm.
going to let that air out? So here where I live, there are bridges.
Mhm.
The bridge goes up, and that's always when you're late.
Mm.
You're late for an appointment. So that's when we take a breath in and the bridge is up and we laugh. Now
Mhm.
it's 5 minutes the bridge is up. So if you caught it at the beginning, that's 5 minutes at least.
Mm.
So you
Mhm.
might take a breath. But then when the bridge starts to go down, it's slow. So you take another breath and you add a little bit more to help that bridge arm come down
Yes.
because you're adding that power.
Yes.
And then it doesn't matter that you're late. You can't change the time.
Mhm.
You could
Mhm.
just change how you walk into your appointment.
Well,
Yes.
I see holding my family hostage in the car while we're going somewhere and laughing and laughing and laughing and seeing if we can just fill the whole car up with that good energy. So I'm like,
Oh,
you can't leave, you have to laugh.
that's amazing. Well, it's
Yeah.
people tend to say, "Take a deep breath when you're stressed," but why not take that breath and
Yeah.
a laugh as well? So thank you everyone for listening in. This was just another wonderful episode on biohacking happiness. Now go sip something yummy, take a good deep breath, and know that you have someone to laugh with. Thanks, everyone. And that's it for today's shift. Thank you so much for sharing this space with us. If you're loving the conversation, become a shifty. Like, follow, subscribe, and most of all, share this episode with someone who's shifting too, or someone who seriously needs to get their shift together.
Do you have thoughts, questions, topic requests, or maybe you're feeling the nudge to collaborate? Visit us at shiftsisterpodcast.com. We'd love to hear from you. We're so grateful for your presence, your friendship, and your willingness to do the work with us. Because shift happens and we're not meant to do it alone.
We'll meet you back here next time to breathe, reflect, and talk shift.